got a client who's super interested in moving down south and keeping the property that he bought with me 4 years ago. It's the first home that I sold. So basically, he's buying a new home for him and his girlfriend to live in. Very interesting, super standard story. As they're looking at homes in Kaysville, we've been sending them listings for maybe 2 months now. They finally see one that they really, really like. They want to jump on it as quick as possible. It's been, I think, 2 minutes since it was listed, and they're like, "Do you think we can wait till tomorrow?" And I said, "Yeah, no big deal. We should be able to wait till tomorrow and not be flooded with offers. This isn't 2021." Well, the next day, I get a text from the agent saying that the home has multiple offers. Two of them are above list price, and one of them is a very strong cash offer, and half of the earnest money has become non refundable after acceptance. Why do I bring this up? Because he said he doesn't want to go look at the home anymore, which is totally fair. He doesn't want to pay above list price for that home. It's not worth it, and I think that's correct. But it's a huge indicator of what we're starting to see in Logan, in Ogden, and especially down south, Kaysville south to Salt Lake City, Sandy area, and such. We are starting to see increases in demand in an anecdotal sense. And today I want to just talk about some of the stats possibly that are supporting that. And I want to talk about Utah's real estate market in general. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go over the Utah real estate market in general and just talk about what's good, what's bad, blah, 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 blah. On top of that, if you want to get the real estate market update once a month, text me your email address. And if you're looking to buy or sell a house in Utah, let me know. Other than that, let's jump right on into it. So when you're looking at homes and you're pondering, what do these home values actually mean? How do people account for them? There's two basic stats that people talk about. One would be average home values, and one would be median sold values, or average home sold value or median home sold value. I use median sold value. Why? Because I have access to those stats in an Excel spreadsheet, and I don't know if it really matters which one you use. They both kind of show the same thing over time. But I'm saying that for median sold value in February of 2024 was $490,000, which is 5% higher than 1 year ago at the same month, February of 2023, $465,000. So this is an indicator showing that we're going to see a price increase this year. I naturally was like, oh, okay, cool. Just 1 month over 1 month. What does that mean? Almost nothing. Maybe prices didn't increase. Well, the thing to be aware of is if we go to average median sold value, January and February of 2024, it's at $487,000. So I'm taking the average of those two numbers and deciding on the average median sold value for that. If we're doing the average median sold value for 2024, we're at $487,500, which is higher than the average median sold value of the entire year of 2023. Why is this important? This is saying in two of the slowest months in 2024, we're having higher sold values than 2023's average value, meaning most likely it's going to keep going up. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not trying to scare you. The goal isn't to be like, oh my goodness, everybody's going to die and demand's going to increase super quickly. But I think it's really important to note this year is going to be totally different than the end of 2022 and all of 2023. We're starting to see more people buying home. We're actually not. Like the stats don't show anything that makes a whole lot of sense, but home values are increasing and they've been consistent about it. So I want to talk about that today, but it's a good idea to understand median sold value has increased over the last year and it's increased in more than one way. So the next story that we'd want to look at is demand, the amount of homes that have sold. If you look at 2023 to 2024, the amount of homes sold has increased by 3%, or 2023 of February. So if we look at February 2024, there's 2,655 homes that sold. If you look at February of 2023, there's 2,585 homes that have sold. These numbers are super important to understand on this is what demand is. This is functionally what demand is, how many homes are selling. If you look over the last 2 years, so if we look at 2022 to 2023, homes sold decreased by 13%. So we saw a large decrease in demand from those years. If we actually look at homes sold between 2021 and 2022, it was a 3% decrease. So we've seen 2 years of homes decrease, of demand decreasing. And it's just this year we're starting to peak back up, which quite possibly could be why we're seeing a price increase as well. On top of that, if we look at the homes sold for 2023, For just January and February and the homes sold in 2024, there's been an increase in demand compared to 2023 for the same period of about 6.79%. So we are starting to see demand increase. But you would expect for this to be an offset with the amount of homes that were listed. You'd be like, okay, cool. There's these people buying homes. How many people are selling their homes? If you look year over year, the amount of homes listed compared to February 2024 to February 2023 increased by 17%. So we saw more homes listed comparatively than we did homes sold. So that could be one of the indicators on why it actually doesn't make any sense. This is what doesn't make sense is if there was more homes listed, you would expect for demand to increase as much, and if it didn't, for it to decrease prices. That's like what the thought is, and that makes 100% sense, but that isn't what happened. And so when I did some small sleuthing, the only answer that I could find was that between 2021 or 2022 and 2023, demand or the amount of homes listed decreased by 15.65%, but the amount of demand only decreased by 12.90%. So we had a larger we had a larger decrease in listings or supply, and we had a smaller decrease in demand, which would make it so that demand could possibly be in a way higher than what it was before, which could be what's causing these price increases, which would make sense. I don't have the exact numbers for it, but I thought it was very important to note that's the only indicator that I can see that the amount of homes listed is smaller than the amount of or the amount of homes listed outpaced the amount of homes that people were buying. And I think it's the only stat that I can really bring up that makes sense. A couple of the last stats that I always like to bring up is that list to sold value is currently at about 98%, which is a good indicator that sellers' expectations of what their home will sell for are fairly realistic. If you look at 2023, it was at 94%, which is super low. And if you look at February of 2022, it was 103%, which was right at the end of like that extreme demand phase for everything. What I basically think that we saw is we're just seeing the rubber band or the roller coaster where we're going really, really high, then we went really, really low. Now it's starting to level out a little bit. We want it to stay at that 98, 99, or 100%. I feel like that is the best range for a simple, easy market. Next, days on market, we can see it's currently at 42, which is about 7 days less than compared to last year at the same time and significantly higher than the year before that. And then the kind of last simple thing to look at is interest rates this year are about 6.78%, which is actually higher than they were last year at 6.26% average for the month. And then they're much higher than they were 2 years ago at 3.76%. So I really would like to emphasize it doesn't make sense why home prices are going up. They should be at least staying level, if not going down a tiny bit, especially at these colder winter months. But now we've got 3 consecutive months, December to January, January to February, where home prices have increased consistently. I guess 2 months after December. And I hate to see that. You hope that January is your slowest month. You hope to see that prices decrease. But the fact that we're seeing so much demand everywhere is a huge indicator. One, that prices are going to go up this year. I think that it's a fairly safe statement to say home prices in the state of Utah are going to increase in 2024, but also seeing this much demand and this much price growth and so little fluctuation is very concerning. I super hope in March that we're able to see either median sold values staying level or even decreasing, but if they don't, start holding on because it's going to be a wild ride. I have all this sheet here. If you want a copy of this Excel sheet, feel free to message me. Comment down below, what are your expectations for the real estate market in 2024? I'd love to hear some people's opinion on all this in general. But other than that, I appreciate you watching. I hope you have a great day, and bye bye now.